Welcome to this app review of Strava, one of the best designed apps I have ever seen. In the last video, if you saw, I talked about Calm and how there are actually a lot of improvements despite how visually beautiful Calm is. There are a lot of functionality changes they can make to improve the app. Strava, very few notes, obviously some that I think they can improve, but just one of the best designed apps I've ever seen. We'll talk about how their onboarding is just really nice and simple, how they ask for notifications in such a well done way that makes the user comfortable and more willing to accept notifications, which is so important to nail, as we'll cover. We'll talk about how the homepage is filled with content. Visually, it could look a little better for reasons I talk about, and how they can have some other optimizations to increase the social aspect a little more effectively. But the app itself is just far and away better than other running apps. So many features are incredible. Its social features are incredible. The way they track the runs, the way they show you your data, it's remarkable. Again, one of the best designed apps I've ever seen. So I hope you like this extremely deep analysis, probably the most deep analysis you'll find on the internet on Strava, as I go through all the UI and UX design, what they did well, what they could improve. So I hope you enjoy. So we'll get right to it. So as you know, we start by going to the App Store and searching the app ourselves to see what it looks like in the App Store, because I'm pretending I'm a user that is looking for a run tracking app, doesn't necessarily know about Strava, because we're seeing whether I would pick the app to download as I look for a general running app. So we're going to search running apps. And there's probably going to be a lot that comes up. I see an ad. We'll skip that for now. A6 Runkeeper here. Looks really interesting. I love the video that we can see here on the screen. It looks really well made and it shows off the good features really well. Last week we talked about how Calm doesn't have this, Better Sleep had this, and because of this better just app preview page, it made me want to use Better Sleep rather than Calm, which was really detrimental to Calm. Similarly, A6 Runkeeper here looks awesome. If I have A6, I might just click that and go, but we'll keep looking. So now I see Strava, again, similar design, a preview of what the app does. This is a really nice page. I always love when it says like the text on a page, like share with friends, and then you see those features, improve with personalized data. Now you see this awesome graph feature that tracks what seems to be your speed, compete with millions. There's a nice leaderboard. So this clearly is showing off how social this app is meant to be. That seems to be the primary use case for Strava. It's really good for running or biking or hiking with friends to see how you perform if you want in certain leaderboards, which, like a runner, probably someone competitive, probably someone that likes to track their data. This is probably an awesome app for that. So looks really great. Strava here. Nike Run Club. No video. Running trainer here does have a really interesting video with some really cool animations. Definitely really exciting. So this is tough because, like in the last video with Calm, it was pretty obvious Better Sleep was the more interesting page since Calm didn't have a video and it looked like a pretty outdated page. This is a very competitive search, running apps on the App Store. I mean, there's a lot of apps with 300,000 plus reviews. They all have awesome videos. They're designed really well. So this isn't really going to make something stand out. Strava's not doing bad. I think Strava looks great, and I love the bright orange color. I think that's really noteworthy. That really stands out. I think in general, it's just tough to stand out on this general search. But I think Strava does a good job. So hard to say whether they did great or not. Because I don't think a user is going to make their decision on just this App Store search. You probably would have heard of one of these apps before, but we'll click on Strava. Again, this video was really well done. I think the app looks great just from this video. I think it tells you what to expect really well, really showcasing the core features and what makes Strava unique in terms of how they track information, how you compete against friends, how you can share that information with friends. Images are great too. Again, that I like that big bright orange. I like apps that try to get like a signature color, like that soft purple blue with Calm is pretty much a signature color. Strava here seems to be going for that with this orange, which is just a bright, powerful color. So yeah, this page looks great. Don't have too many notes. Had a lot more notes with Calm, but I think this page is great. I would copy something as similar as possible. if I were building an app, in terms of having the video, having the nice screenshots with the best features, quick text describing what each feature is, making it stand out on a page in an otherwise busy screen. Again, like there's a lot of run apps, but I think this strong orange really stands out. Great job here by Strava. I think it looks great. So let's get into the app to now judge the onboarding experience for the user. Okay, so just nice first page just to join. Reminds you of some of the features if you didn't see them. I like that. No annoying pop-ups like with Calm. If you didn't see in the last video, as soon as I click start on the app, I got immediately hit with an alert to request notifications. And then even if I hit allow or don't allow, I immediately got hit with an ask app to track. And then as soon as I got through that, I said a few reasons why I'm in Calm, and then I got hit with the premium subscription upsell. So I like that Strava is not doing that. It's just saying, hey, here's the app, join, set up your account, and then we'll get into all that stuff like I thought Calm should have did, since having that initial just upsell relationship was really uncomfortable with Calm. So good job by Strava here, just getting the user in the app. Join. Okay, so now ask apps to track. Fine. I mean, this is also a decent time to show that they have to ask this at some point, and it's never a good time to ask this one, so it's hard to really analyze this one. I think it's good to put it right here, so it's just the user's just going to say yes or no really quick and just move on. The reason why this bothered me so much in the Calm analysis, because it was just back to back to back, and that really bothered me. Putting it here is fine because the user's just going to say whatever. I just want to finish creating my account that I already started. So again, I'll just say allow because I don't really care too much. Birth date, pretty simple page, doesn't really ask for too much. What sports are you interested in? Okay, so I was hoping there would be a page like this that, asks why you're here. We covered this in Calm, which I know I keep referencing because it's the video I just did, but these pages are really good for your app because it helps. It's two reasons. One, the user feels like you're catering the app towards them. Like if I'm a swimmer and I'm using Strava, Strava will tweak my app experience just for swimming. Whereas now that I told Strava I'm a swimmer, they might want to focus more on swimmers in their marketing. Or if I'm just running and biking, focus more on that. Like this helps you see from a real percentage number, okay, 70% of our users come for running. Last year only 5% came for swimming. Now 20% come for swimming. Maybe we should keep pushing into swimming more, build more features for them, do more marketing towards them. So this is a really good page to have in order to understand your users better and to give your users that feeling that you're building this app and you're going to cater the experience for them based on their unique interests. So, I mean, there's a ton of options, which is really cool. I'm just going to say running for now because that's kind of all the activities I do here. Stay connected with what motivates you, allow you to receive notifications. So this is kind of a weak page for, again, something really important like notifications. I talked about it in the last video, but if you didn't see that, notifications are really important. Few stats: 65% of users return to an app within 30 days when push notifications are enabled. Sending just one onboarding related push notification to new users during their first week can increase retention by 71% over 2 months. Users who opt into push notifications are retained at nearly 2 times the rate compared to users who don't. After just 3 months, push-enabled users have a 16% retention rate compared to only 4% for users with push notifications disabled, so 4 times more likely to be around 3 months later. Really important there. And then 60% of apps users say push notifications make them use the app more frequently. So push notifications are really important. You really want to nail that ask because you really do want to get the user locked into them, especially as more apps and more notifications and take advantage of that opportunity for that digital billboard. So you really want to nail this ask because users all experience notification fatigue. They're probably default no. So you got to make it worthwhile to them that they want to receive notifications from you. I like that they kind of explain why they want to send you notifications in a softer way rather than just hitting you with the pop-up without saying why you should elect to notifications from them. I said in Calm that I like when an app does this organically, like when you use the core feature and you say, hey, like, for Strava example, you can see when, hey, you just finished your first run, awesome. You can see how you stack up against a leaderboard that refreshes every week. Like we can send you a reminder a day before, if you want to try to beat that high score in your leaderboard right before the weekends. That's a little tough though, because it takes a while for a user to get to the aha moment, because the user has to go on a run. It's not like Calm where you just listen to a 3-minute meditation video. Like you actually have to take a lot of time to get to the aha moment. So that's kind of tough for Strava to do it organically. I think doing it like this is fine. What I would have liked is, instead of here seeing these 3 bullet points, by selecting allow, you'll get the latest on your monthly stats, new feature updates, stories from the community. I would have liked to have maybe like a side scrolling screen that says your monthly stats, and then show me the stats page, maybe with a pop-up on there, like what it might say, like, hey, this week you ran 20 miles. Try to go for 24 miles next week, and you'll be at the top of your leaderboard. Something like that. I think those are cool notifications to see like how you did. Again, monthly stats or even weekly stats. I think that would be really cool. And I think they can show that screen here. Slide over new feature updates, something about showing your coolest feature, the leaderboard maybe, stories from the community, what that looks like in the app, example notification. Like they do that here in the top. You can see like the Peter Lee morning hike, and then you see the example notification, trending challenge among friends. Like that's really cool. I'd like to see like more of that in a full page, and then you can side swipe to see, these 3 bullets in a more full page view. I think that would have been really cool. Kind of like similar to how it looks on the App Store, but with that example notification. Otherwise, this is a good page. Obviously, they have the allow button much more prominent, so you're more inclined to click that rather than the not now. I think that's good, of course. I think this makes a user much more inclined to allow notifications than if you just ask them randomly with the general App Store pop-up. So great job by Strava here. Nailing notifications is really important. I think they do this well. I think it could be even better by just expanding on that top image, as I said. But regardless, good page, much better than Calm. If you want to hear me rant for 10 minutes about notifications, go check out the Calm video. But this is really great so far. Could be better, again, but really good. I recommend doing something similar in your apps. So we'll hit allow. Now it'll be the general App Store pop-up, which we'll hit allow again for. Okay, so after going through notifications, now I see this premium subscription page. So there's a few things. One, this is a good method to say like, sign up today, get all the premium features. We'll remind you when your trial is about to end so you won't forget. We'll give you that 2-day heads up, like, hey, cancel if you want, and then in 30 days you'll be charged. 1 month free is really generous, so that's nice. But I think this is really smart to tell your users that you will remind them when their free trial is about to end. I think it makes them more inclined to start the free trial because they won't forget. And it's really frustrating when you forget to cancel a free trial and you just got charged, whatever, $80 a year like it says here. So that's nice, and I've read that increases conversion to free trials a lot by telling them you'll remind them, which if you get more people to convert to a free trial, you'll get more people to convert to a premium subscription. The only thing that and before I actually move on, that's also a great way to get people into notifications. If they didn't have that previous page, if I were to click start free trial, they would have said something like, hey, like to remind you, we need to send you notifications. Is that okay? You'll click allow if that's all right. And then you lock a user into a free trial and notifications because they actually want that notification. And then you can send them other ones, of course, as well. So it's a great double-edged sword there to send that reminder. So it's great in that regard. The only thing that kind of bothers me, and there must be data because Calm did something similar, that you want to lock in a user as fast as possible in terms of you want to send them that free trial as quick as you can to get them locked in. And I'll have to see what it's like in Strava because it might be hard to use the app without a premium subscription. I prefer that organic upsell moment, if possible, where if I went on a run and came back and it said, hey, like, if you want to see how you're doing in the leaderboards, or if you want to share with friends, or if you want to track this data, sign up for the free trial and you'll get all these awesome features, and then they kind of show it. Here, like, I don't really know too much what I'm signing up for. But again, with something like Strava, where it takes a while for the user to get to the aha moment, maybe it's better to just try to get them now. I'm curious to see what the app is like if I don't start the free trial versus if I do start the free trial. But Obviously, I can't really do both. But since this is like a good page for most people, like I'm sure most people opt into the free trial because they, one, get a full month, which is a lot of time, but two, they have that reminder and gives them a little peace of mind. So I'm going to say, yeah, I'll sign up for the free trial. I want the full Strava experience to see if I like it. So we'll start free trial. It's a little tough that they push you into the $79.99 a year bucket. You can't pay monthly. I don't have a device, so I'll click no. Okay, so now we're in the app. This is the home page. Suggested goal, weekly snapshot. Someone around Brooklyn posted something about their run. That was a really long run. Good for them. Who to follow. Definitely a social app. These, I'm assuming, are just like running influencers that I'm seeing some way, somehow. So, first thing I see, okay, sorry, there's a lot here. I don't love the way it looks. I wonder if that's just because I'm in dark mode. Let me change that actually. Now I'm curious. Yeah, so now I'm in light mode and this looks a little better. But I'm going to go back to dark mode and judge it from there. I don't love the way this looks. Like there's nothing pops really. Like this suggested goal of 1 mile per week. I don't know if that needs to be the most prominent thing. Record an activity in the middle, like that makes sense. You know, I'm sure someone that just downloaded Strava is about to go on a run and not do a design review about it. So when I download it, I want to start the run as, easily and quickly as possible. So it makes sense to have that record an activity button right there and to have the goals right there because, it helps the user stay engaged in Strava. I just wish this was designed a little differently. It just doesn't look very good. It's hard to put my thumb on what they could do different because I understand wanting those things in the front and center. I think maybe you could have this goal box a little smaller. There's some space there at the bottom that doesn't seem to be needed. And I think maybe instead of just record an activity, they could have a cool image of a map that makes it a little more exciting to record an activity and get started. Maybe make that portion a little bigger with the map. Like, let me see what it looks like if I hit record. Access, run. So now we're on the actual map, which I'll talk more about later, but maybe having that map or something like it on that main screen, like a live map, actually, I think would be really cool. Like small, maybe from the size of the start of the ready to get moving box down to like where suggested challenges is, have like a little live map that shows, where I am, and then I can record an activity to start. I think that would just be a little more exciting and a little more interesting because there's nothing really that's popping on this screen. Suggested challenges seems really interesting. And I like that little reward button there that makes me more, because otherwise I'm like, why do I need to join a Planet Fitness challenge? But now I'm seeing that I can get 1 month free of Planet Fitness if I do this challenge, which is really cool. One free Chomps meat stick if you get active. This is a really cool feature. I would probably have that text a little bigger. It's kind of hard to see actually, like, what you get for the reward. But let's tap that. This looks really good. This is a really good looking page. I like the image. Compete the challenge, 200 minutes of activity, and you get a free 1 month at Planet Fitness. That's awesome in terms of that partnership. Perfect for Strava, perfect for Planet Fitness. I mean, I think Strava substantially benefits from getting these challenges, getting users engaged to want to use the app more for a certain reason at no cost to them. I'm sure companies like Planet Fitness are going to them since they have millions of users in their network to say, hey, how can we get people at Planet Fitness using Strava? Let's do challenges to give them a free month. That's awesome. This page looks really great. I just don't think this app is a dark mode app. It just looks too dark. I think it's better as a light mode app. So these challenges are awesome. HelloFresh challenge. Get a nice free item. That's great. What happens if I try to join a challenge? Oh, I'm in. That's all you have to do is just click join and you're in it. Well, that's really nice. It's nice how easy it is to join. You don't have to like sign up for anything or do any extra clicks. You just join and there you go. So that's really interesting. I wonder if that's just for premium users, or that's for everyone? Again, I'm on the general free trial, so I don't exactly know if this is exclusive or not. Going to run to Chipotle and you might win Chipotle for a year. Join that one. But anyway, really cool features. As you scroll down, I'm assuming this will be, yes, this is recommended for you, popular Strava members. I'm assuming once you make friends that this will be more of people you follow, your friends, which is cool. Like there's that social aspect of Strava. I'm not really big on that. I just like to track my runs, but obviously people that are downloading Strava like the social aspect of it because there's so many other run tracking apps. So I'm curious what that looks like. I think this is a good just mini auto scroll feature. Just show you a few of your friends or popular Strava users. It doesn't seem like an auto scroll, and I'm curious if there are a way to see more friends. Groups, challenges. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe once you make friends with users, that'll become more apparent. But anyway, good first page. I think it's not too overbearing. It shows you users if you want to see them, helps you set a goal, helps you start getting recording an activity, shows you some challenges to help get you motivated. So it's a good first page. There's not too much going on here. Again, I wish it was designed a little better. I think having that map in there, like a live map you can move around for the recording activity, just for the visual aspect would look nicer. Like when I opened this app and I saw this page for the first time, there wasn't like a pop to it. It looks a lot less glamorous as it looked in the App Store page. So I would try to incorporate that somehow. I wonder why the screen isn't orange and everything else is like white or black, like the buttons. Maybe that's too obnoxious, but I just don't like this black backdrop on the dark mode screen. I just think it's too dark, and it's my choice to use dark mode. But still, like Calm had that background you could change, like that dark blue, dark purple backdrop for, when it's nighttime if you want. And then you can change it to a brighter, greener daytime background if you wanted that vibe. Maybe they could even have the background, which is probably much harder, but at least like a faded image of a runner, like in the background, like they had on the notification ask page. I think there was like an image of runners. Even having that like subtly in the background, I think would be nice. Just something to make the screen pop a little more beyond this just black and orange could look really cool. Even again, if it's in dark mode, it would also be a cool feature. Like, this isn't me and I don't want that to be the background. But if I do upload a picture to Strava, it would be cool to have that picture, one of the pictures, like in a rotating catalog type of thing, as the faded background, like a 20% opacity background. Again, that can be dark so that you still have that dark mode and these buttons still pop. But I think that would be pretty interesting as well. So maybe adding the map in the middle and then maybe adding some type of images in the background just to make it pop a little more and give the user that feeling that this app is really cool, like it gave that impression in the App Store. So let's click around. Again, I talked about in the past, those top buttons are really special. So let's go through some of them. Strava definitely has a lot of buttons, which I noticed, which is kind of stressful. Bottom 5 tabs, which is pretty standard. Top 4 icons are just kind of a lot. Usually you only want 2 up there. But then there's also customize your goal, set your goal, record an activity, join a challenge. Like there's definitely a lot going on this first page, and I wonder if some of these top buttons are necessary because it's kind of giving me button overload. So let's hit the bell. That's just notifications. I haven't gotten any, but understandable putting that there. Messages. You can message people on Strava. Choose who you want to chat with. Okay, what if I hit start message? Search people who follow you. So this is just in Strava. It doesn't connect to your contacts. Only messages your friends, so it's like a DM. I'm curious how much that gets used, and I don't really see the benefit. I guess, again, Strava is trying to be like a social network, so that's like DMing. Because I was going to say you can just text people but maybe you kind of met someone through Strava and you don't have their number, so you message them through Strava, like, hey, do you want to go on a run tomorrow? So that is a cool feature. I understand that being there. Search bar, search for people. Again, suggested. There's my friend Michael. Go to Facebook, go to contacts, clubs, New York Runners Club. That's really cool. That club's feature is really nice. looks good. Shows a lot of clubs, knows I'm around New York, so shows those clubs there. I think this, friend invite screen is really good too, and really good to show. Can connect contacts, can scan a QR code to join people, to be friends with people if you meet them, Facebook. So that's really good. I don't like that it's just like a search icon because I didn't know that's what I was searching for. I didn't know what I was going to search for. I think that would be better as just like a profile icon, like a friend, that you can click and then you can, see how to add friends, because that seems to be really important for Strava. And obviously, like Facebook, like you want to make 5 friends in a week or 10 friends in a week, whatever it was. It makes the app better for me if I'm going at it with my friend Michael here and we follow each other and I can see how he's doing and so on. So I'm surprised they aren't really pushing that. They're more so pushing just individual goals and challenges and random people. There's a recommended for you here. I think it would make sense to put right there under the recommended for you, or instead of the who we follow in 2024, put my friend Michael there, like people you may know on Strava, because it's much more interesting for me to follow people I know than these random people in Spain that I don't know. So I'm surprised they aren't pushing that on the main page and are instead pushing just, I don't know, popular running influencers. I would definitely rather have, my friends here. Somehow it knows some of the people already that I should follow. You can have, instead of who we follow in 2024, friends you could follow, shows Michael in this first box, and then in the second box, it could be that contact emoji here, and it'll say, add your contacts or connect your contacts to see who else is on Strava that you can follow and run with, and so on. And then here's your contacts, who to connect with. Maybe in the next box, connect to Facebook, scan your QR code if you met someone right now. Like essentially having this page just be right here in the who we follow, so that, it happens a little more organically, because no one's going to touch that search icon. I have no idea why you would. Again, I don't know what I'm searching for. I think that'd be a lot more better as a friend icon, and I think they should have that right here rather than just general people, because I don't really care about that, and I'm sure most people don't really care about that. And if they're pushing friends, it should be more prominent. So I would definitely put that there to make this home screen a little better and to eliminate one of these several top header buttons. See what this plus is. To post. So I guess it's like a tweet. I guess if you want to say, hey, I'm thinking of going on a run in a week at this time, does anyone want to join? If you do have a lot of followers on Strava, and that kind of makes sense. I'm assuming it's better, like post run, like, hey, do you want to post your workout? And then say the distance, the pace, the time, tag who you went with, weekly distance goal complete, other achievements. Like that's really cool. This post itself is awesome. Like this looks really cool and it's really entertaining. Like I'm very interested again, like to read more and see this post. I don't know her, but it's really interesting to see her run, to see how long she went, see what rewards she got, calories she burned, tools she used, results, segments, her speed, splits. This is awesome. Like I like to run. I'm not like, addicted or like very analytical with my runs, but I feel like seeing this either from a friend or like an influencer, like she seems like a very great runner. I mean, she did 15 miles in an 8-minute pace. Like I'm sure she's a marathon runner and seemingly quite popular one. So being able to look at her stats, if I'm striving for that type of ability, that's really cool. So this page is awesome. I love what they highlight. I love how in-depth it is. There's so many different things to look at that I'm sure runners love to see in terms of the analysis and the pace, how they did at certain elevations, what times they did the best of, how the elevation affected their time. And again, just this little, ran with Steph Harris. It was really cold outside. Ran with all these other people. This is a really awesome page. I love that. I think Strava's doing a really good job here of making these posts really interesting, because now I want to engage more with other people to see their posts and see how they did. but also I want to post my own and, show off my stats and then run with other people so I can tag them in my posts and repost, just the same social aspect of every social app. But whereas Instagram is just pictures, like Strava has so many different stats, which I'm sure running junkies like love to see. Even the device, the Garmin Forerunner, the weather, like that's all really cool. So this is awesome. I think I have no notes in terms of how to change this design. I think it shows a lot, which I don't think you can show too much here because people will think that's really interesting. The general, just initial post is really cool looking. It shows the most important stats right there. Again, you can comment, share. This is awesome. No notes. Great design here on this page. So that's what posts look like. Maps. Oh, this is interesting. So they have routes that are easy, the distance, elevation change, how long it might take you. It's interesting they're showing me all easy routes, probably because I'm a newer runner, which makes sense. They don't know if I'm strong or capable yet. And I like that they're showing routes that are close to me, like I can get to them. So this is awesome. I don't remember if this was necessarily on the App Store page. I think it would have been cool to show this page and then show a user, scrolling through and seeing the routes change in terms of the highlight as you scan through other routes. This is an awesome page. I was expecting just a regular map, but no, it shows awesome route options. It shows good places to take pictures. That's really cool. So I love this page. It's really interesting. You can look up other routes, segments, map only, length, preferred length. Let's say I want to go 8 miles. What routes are they going to suggest? Again, same routes around me, just a little longer now, which is just really cool. I love that. You can also change elevation, surface, difficulty. Let's get rid of the preferred length. Let's say any, but difficulty. I want a hard one. What does that look like? None in this area. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know why they would. No moderates either. No easies either. I'm not sure what's really going on there. That feature seems to not be working. Whatever. Regardless, you can change it, and I think it's really cool how the route highlights change and helps you figure out a route because, I might be new to the area. I haven't gone on a run around here before. I don't really know what a good route is. Now I know exactly what to do thanks to Strava. So that's really helpful to get me going on a run. I love that it shows pictures too because I like running outside because I like seeing things. It's much more enjoyable than on a treadmill. So I like that there are pictures to kind of see, what you'll see. Like you'll go through on this nice bridge and you'll see the skyline and it'll look really nice, especially if you go at dawn or dusk. So that's really cool. I like the pictures. Elevation changes. Most people do this during November. It's interesting. Active times when there's peak traffic. Could be nice to know how long it takes the community on average. So again, it's just showing a ton of information. Like kudos to Strava for tracking so much data and just sharing everything with the user. They can look at it if they want. It's not all in your face. It's only there if you look at it, which I think is awesome. So, I don't know what other running apps look like. I have like a general Under Armour Track My Run app that I've had for 15 years that essentially just shows like a general map and then you can start running. I think that this being the default map is just awesome in terms of getting a user to run, to want to use the app. So awesome screen here. I love the way you can filter and search for routes. It seems like, so let me see. If I were to click this route, then I can click on start. And now it shows me the route, how to do it. That's awesome. I love that. Like it just makes my life really easy. If it tells me the route to run, maybe I'll go try this route next time I go on a run, because I haven't done it before and I didn't know it was possible. I've only just ran along the river here because I knew that I just go down for a bit and I come back, I'll be good. But now I have an actual nice loop that'll be a little unique. So I'll probably try this. I do plan on using the app and then coming back to see, what that looks like in the design in terms of tracking stats to cover that. But this is just really cool heart rate. I don't need to do that. I don't have a heart rate sensor. Beacon, something about safety, connect to Spotify, switch route, foot scores. So that's really cool. I like that if you just, you can click a route and then you can start from there, or it seems like you can just, start running. If you didn't want to connect to a specific route, you just want to record. Well, now it has me showing this. Okay, clear route. Now it's just a general map where I can go wherever I want and track the run that way. But really cool. I like I said, I think I'm going to run this route. So I'm going to save it. Route creation. Oh, you can start a new route. New feature still in development. That's really cool. Again, like that social aspect. Strava has a lot of awesome features. Like just that social aspect of, hey, like here are some routes. Create your own. Share with the community. Take some pictures of it. See who ran your route. It's just awesome. Like that's just another cool feeling that you'd feel good doing that with Strava. So it's just very social and then really leaning into it in a really good way. I'm not going to rename the route. I'll just say save. View my saved. What does that look like? Just to save routes here. Okay, now I click it. I have it. I can start it if I want. That's really cool. Really well done. Love this page. Okay, so let's go to groups. So this is what we saw on the home page. Just challenges, groups to join. I'm sure some people really enjoy this. I don't know, this would be a lot more interesting like with friends. And if I were to join a group, okay, yeah, you see leaderboards, which makes it more interesting. Like if I join this group, I want to be at the top. I want to be, I see Tiago's at a 4:30 mile pace. I want to be at a 4:20 mile pace. Like I think I can beat him. And so that's cool. Like I think if you're a really intense runner, you'd want to do these challenges and compete for the leaderboards. So this is interesting. You can sort it by just runs, just bike rides, which is good because obviously those are very different activities with different paces. Half marathon challenge. This is really cool because, obviously marathon or half marathons only happen so often, but now you can kind of run one with Strava and, see how you did against people and around the world and not just a real organized race. So that is really well done as well. I like that a lot. So it's a good page. I don't really think, nothing's really popping out to me of what could be better. Pretty easy to navigate. So yeah, don't really have too many notes about that. Clubs, similar. Seems like you can join a club and some information. You can see, half marathons, real marathons. So it's just, again, it's like an Instagram page. It's like a runner's Instagram page for New York where you can see updates about running around the city. So that's really good. I wonder how notifications work with that. I'll join the group and I'm going to see if I, get a notification from them. I'll join the January 10K challenge too. What happens after I go on a run? Am I going to get some type of notification like here's how you rank? Or, New York Roadrunners just posted about a half marathon on January 20th. Am I going to see that? I'd assume so. If not, I should, because I joined those groups for a reason. Like I'm obviously interested in tracking that information. So I'm assuming they'll send it to me, but we'll see. Otherwise, I think this is a good page. There's definitely a lot going on. So it can be a little overwhelming, but again, I think an app like this, like it's good to show a lot because that's what these people want to see. They want to see information. So I think this page looks good. You can search for clubs. Again, just see friends. Let's go to the U screen. Profile and his contents are up here. Okay. Here's my profile. Followers, what I've done this week. Kind of information like that. View your progress, activities. Set your goal. So none of this is full. I'll probably have to go over this page after I go on a run. So I'll come back for that. Curious if I click on Michael's profile, I can see what he did this week. Wow, Michael went on an 8-mile run. Good for him. So, there's not too much here. But it's nice you can see your friend and how they use the app. So I'll come back to that in a little bit. Okay, so this morning I went on a run. So now I'm coming back to Strava to see what it looks like after you actually go on a run. So this is the home page. It's obviously different from earlier. I set a 3-mile goal for the week because I anticipated running 3 miles, but then it was insanely cold outside, so I just did about 2. But instead of that message saying start recording, where I said it would look a lot better if there was that live map, and I stand by that, I think it would look great. Now it's just populated with my most recent run, which I'm sure is standard. I'm sure they only show one run because, again, now we see the suggested challenges and the group I joined, the New York Road Runners, some posts by them. So like a general social feed, since I followed this group, I'm seeing posts by them. I'm not really seeing random people anymore. So that was really just an initial screen, an initial home screen before you start populating the app with things you want to see. I'm not seeing that recommended follows anymore, which I still think they should show. As I said, people I might know and the icons to add contacts, connect Facebook, things like that. I still think they should have that on this main screen, right under challenges or right above challenges. But it's interesting to see how it's changed. I like that it shows my most recent run. It's just nice to look at. Next time I log into the app, I know exactly what I did last time. I only did 2 miles because it was so cold. Maybe next time I run, it'll be a little warmer and I'll try to do, 4 or 5 or something. Shows some key stats. Let's see what achievements are. PR on the mile. Again, a bunch of other stats. You can say a little bit about the run. That just did a little loop. It's very cold though. I don't know what this video icon is. So this is tracking the run on a cool Google Maps looking thing. Oh, that's cool. It's just a neat feature. It's not necessary. People probably click on it once and that's kind of it. It would be really cool if the images were a little better, if it was a little more 3D. But that's a nice little feature, saying how the pace changed. I wasn't really looking at that, but you can see I start at 6:30 and then I get cold and tired and it starts going up to mid-high 7s. I just want to get it done, so now it goes back to under 7. So that's pretty cool. I like how you can see a little visually how things changed. I'm sure runners love to see that. Talks about the weather. Bunch of PRs. I think that's where all my achievements, 1 mile, half mile. Pace analysis, when I was slower, when I was faster. Faster in the first mile than the second. So again, all that data that we looked at for the random woman. Now I can see that for myself. And it's just, it's just really cool. I think it's awesome how much they track. And it does encourage me to run more. I want to see new stats and I want to try to beat my PR on the mile now and go longer distance and do other achievements. They really do nail this achievement aspect and stats aspect that so many apps try to nail to make it more interesting to the user. I think they absolutely nail it here. So let's go back home because I have a notification now. Just saying, good workout, check out your stats. Afterwards, I could have posted it and it populated what a post would have looked like essentially how the screen looks right now with, again, I called it short loop around the river and then any comments. I said it was too cold. Essentially, you could just post that publicly if you wanted, but I didn't see a need to. And then now if I go to my profile, again, I see a little data or a little chart showing my runs. That would be different if there's multiple runs. best efforts, goals, training logs, monthly. So this is all really cool. I mean, they just track everything that you'd want to track, honestly, as a runner, and I think that's incredible. Active challenges here. I exercise for 13 minutes, just 3.5 more hours, and now get a free month at Planet Fitness. So that's cool to see that populating. Definitely a fun experience. The actually like running page while you're running looks really cool too. The time is really big, which I appreciate, because sometimes when you're running it's hard to see the time, but your pace is very clearly seen. And you can look at the map view like this if you want to see yourself live running, which is nice. So yeah, I love it. I think this is just like I think this homepage is great. Like, shows my runs, shows my goals, weekly snapshot, and then other posts from people or communities that I'm following. Again, I would have loved to see this still, like recommended friends for you. Invite your friends, just like that little encouragement on the main page instead of this little search icon would be nice. But yeah, just looks awesome. I think this is such a well-designed app, really. Very few notes. So looks great. So that's going to do it. I hope you appreciate this video. I hope you learned some things that you can take onto your own app, because I would replicate as much as I could about Strava, especially how they ask for notifications, how much data they show. I think you could push a little more for giving the user those social features. I mean, they show it like crazy, and there's so many opportunities to be social. But again, just on that homepage, like showing friends, I think would be a little more interesting. I love just how different it is from other running apps. Like, there are so many running apps, but they really push being social about it. This record feature, or not the record feature, the maps and just like the routes you can see for yourself that you can go run is just so cool. I love that. And like, that's what's going to keep me in Strava, honestly, with the pictures that I could see what I'll see if I do go on these runs, and how beautiful it can be sometimes in New York. Just love it. So fantastic app. Incredible that it's such a crowded and saturated market, run tracking apps, and yet Strava was able to explode on it just from how incredible they are from a design and user experience perspective. So maybe that'll show you that it really does make a difference. And this isn't something to gloss over, because it's what made Strava a app for millions of users. So I hope you like this video. If you did, expect another one next week. TBD on what I do. So stay tuned. Maybe subscribe so that you will get notified when I do release that next video. And hopefully we learn a lot from that as well. So appreciate you watching, and I will see you soon.